So we are going to start off our Innovation Awards, once again talking about the next possible innovations that are available in the industry. We are now in our second year of the Innovation Awards, an initiative that was launched by the EPMA at the 2016 Racing and Betting Forum. Looking back to the inaugural event, we actually received 22 submissions in total from 13 different companies. The aim of the first Innovation Award was to reward the submission that had the biggest overall impact on the horse racing betting business, measured in terms of the growth in revenue generated, as well as how the innovation enhanced the overall customer experience by improving the range of products and services we had available. Now, an independent jury with knowledge and expertise in innovation and startup business selected the best 4 entries. The first place was then decided by participants to the forum here in Paris during the pitch competition, when each finalist was given 2 minutes to convince the audience that they deserved the vote. We had 4 shortlisted: Syndicate Shares Online from ATG, HippieGo from PMU, Sporty Mobile from Sporty Tech, and Lintoto from Norsk Risk Toto. The winner, Syndicate Shares Online, the submission from ATG in Sweden, was rewarded twice by the jury and the public, so it was a popular and a standout choice. We therefore spoke to ATG to see how this initiative fared in the last 2 years since they received this award. They reported to us that actually Syndicate Shares Online has continued to grow considerably since 2016. It's actually doubled its turnover every year since launched. They're continuing to develop the product. The most significant change is that they've introduced V86, and they're now moving on to the betting shop teams on the platform to create a separate dedicated environment. They've been celebrating their success with this award with their team and handed over the award in a special ceremony. And we're looking forward to giving out the awards today, again for the Innovation Awards for 2 categories. We have the Best Vision of Racing and Best Commercial. This year's Innovation Awards are kindly sponsored by Colossus Bets. We believe it's really important to reward new ideas and recognize the achievements of startup enterprises. And so we're delighted that we have cash prizes on offer for this year's winners. We launched the 2 awards on the 10th of July this year with a deadline of September for our submissions. The Best Vision of Racing is for concepts that promote horse racing and betting in an innovative way. We received 11 submissions in total for that. And for Best Commercial Advertising Campaign, we had the Best Advertising or Marketing Campaign to promote betting on horse racing with a total of 13 submissions received. Now remember, we need you to cast your vote to decide who wins this year's Innovation Awards, so please visit live.io/EPMA and again enter your name to connect. You'll then need to click on the live vote button and select your preferred choice of winner. So once again, that's live.io/EPMA. But without further ado, let's find out a bit more about this year's shortlisted entries by introducing the members of our jury. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Guillaume Dolbeau, who is the head of the PMU Innovation, Laurent Barberin, the stud manager, commentator at Aquidia, and Cricket Head, who is, of course, is our famous retired trainer who's joined us today and also now commentator at Aquidia. Please welcome them to the stage. Well, welcome to all 3 of you. Yes, I'll give you a hand up. So if you could please take a seat. The jury actually selected their best 3 entries back in September. So I'm going to start off by speaking to Guillaume and ask him if he was impressed with the quality of the entries received overall.
Well, thank you. We were very impressed by the quality of the 11 files that we received, and there were so many different subjects that were studied, such as customer experience, new information systems, how to broadcast or to offer new ways of viewing races, and it's been well, we spent more than 3 hours discussing and trying to choose which subject would be presented today during the 3 pitches, and it's been very, very interested.
Very good. And cricket, were you surprised about some of the submissions we had this year? What surprised you particularly?
Well, everything. I thought, first, it was not my knowledge. I train horses, so it's difficult for me to be here today, but it was very interesting. And I think there's a lot of good ideas on everything that we've seen. And it was very difficult to find the winner, the second and the third. I would have put a dédite on everyone if I had to.
And Laurent, were there any clear standouts and favourites for the panel?
No clear standouts, no. I would think, you know, the three technology we have selected in their own right, they all tend to enhance, you know, the racegoer experience, either for the newcomer in the business or for the experienced people in this business. So it was very interesting to try to see it from a different point of view. Obviously, I've got a bit of experience in it as cricketed on the same side anyway, and it was very interesting to see how we can try to catch more attention from people that don't know the sport or from people that already have a good knowledge of it. So we try to find a mix in between these two different populations.
I think I can just add that we've selected three different startups, and I think that those three startups can reach other current customers in order to improve the racing and betting experience, but also to attract new punters, as what we heard just before in the afternoon with the people that wanted to understand and to be more confident with the racing and how to bet. So I think that the three ideas that we selected should fill all the checks.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to hearing more about them. For our first award, the Best Vision of Racing, the jury have selected their top 3 entries, who will each now pitch their innovation to the audience in order to win your vote. You'll then have 5 minutes to convince our esteemed colleagues and guests why you deserve to win this year's award. So we actually have 3, the best 3 on stage from iLive 360, Odiho, and from Exalt Racing. So we'll start off with a presentation by iLive.
Thank you very much. Test, this is on? Yeah. Yes, so we do believe this is going to make betting a lot more fun. The idea is if you bet on the horse, you get to ride on the horse. And so we're just going to tell you a little bit about how we do it. And believe me, it works and it's fantastic.
Thank you so much. So our goal is to bring an exciting new image to horse racing. We want to replace the binoculars with the mobile phone, which everybody has, or VR headsets. And we talked a lot about that today, about using mobile phones for the new generation. You basically place a bet, and then you get an option to look at your video on the horse you bet on. If you bet on multiple horses, you get to look at multiple horses and switch between it. It's extremely fun, especially if you do it with your friends. You get to race each other. It's fun and easy to use. We are using our proprietary camera and transmission system. Our camera is a helmet mount. It's about 6 ounces, 170 grams. It has a quick magnetic release, so if there's an unforeseen accident, the camera would just snap off and not cause any damage to the jockey. We use a high-quality 4K video. We talked a little bit about SD video still being prominent today. So we're up to 4K transmission. You could broadcast it live on your mobile device, online, or on TV. So a producer could cut from it or cut to it, which is great. The app is highly intuitive and user-friendly. It's customizable based on your betting experience, which is fantastic. It's a subscription model, so you get to use it from free, if you're just beginning, to a bronze, silver, and gold. Obviously, if you're really a good user, you select the gold standard. Our app is a module which could be incorporated into any existing betting app, which is fantastic. Sorry? Click to the app, sorry. So here's a sample of our app, which could be, it's a white label app, so it could be branded to any brand that exists. Our solution, here you go, delivers high-res video to jockeys, from a jockey's perspective, to trainers, owners, commissionaires and gets fans and punchers and gamblers to participate in the sport even more. Our custom commissionaires consoles allows for fast and accurate replay of the races. So this is something that we get to build custom race for every track. Obviously, we can't do this by ourselves. We're looking for partners from all facets of the sport to join us and help us build this concept out. And together, we will bring this concept to the next generation of the sport.
And finally, social media is very, very important. We've heard a lot about that today. So you can imagine how this would be used. If somebody bets on a horse, they're going to ride on a horse, but what they'll be able to do is tweet or Facebook that out to all of their friends, and they would be able to ride along with the jockey as well. So when you think about the moment somebody says, hey, I'm interested in horse racing, they're not thinking about stats, they're not thinking about how I'm going to make a bet, they are just thinking about, hey, that's cool. So if you get a tweet from your friend saying, I just made a bet, you want to watch from the jockey's point of view, this is really cool, and they do, it will be really cool. And that's how you exponentially grow this kind of business for the new generation. They have to go viral. And this sport is probably the greatest show on earth. You just have to be able to show it with the greatest view on earth, and that's from the jockey.
Thank you very much to iLive Media for the first of our 3 pitches. Next, if I could ask Odiho to join us, please.
I like those 2 clowns on the video, they're good. So, yes, innovation can be disruptive or incremental. What about leveraging existing assets, leveraging existing content? You run a business, and this business happens in physical locations today, like a cafe in Paris. Let's say I'm the owner of the cafe, and I have my customers. There are actually 2 categories of customers. The ones, am I right? You came here for betting. Please distribute the, go, just distribute them. You came here for betting, and you want to know a lot. You want content, right? The one on my left, you came here for enjoying a nice coffee with your friends. Thank you. And in a corner, we have a television. Can we play it? Where is it? Displaying, broadcasting Equidia. Come on, yeah. So now the question is, what do you need? Do you have all the content? No, you're missing the sound. Okay. But if I put sound for you on, it's a noise for you. You came here for a quiet coffee. So I'm the owner of the place. How do I deal with that? How can I serve both customers at the same time? So we at Odiho, we have a solution. We are broadcasting the sound to your smartphone from the TV set. And the way to reach it is very simple. This QR code here, you can try. You can flash it, and in 10 seconds, you will have a play button appearing for listening to the sound. Let's try it. Oh, thank you. Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Gauthier. So you'll have the opportunity to try it because it's really live. I can put in pause. I can. Yeah. Pause. Play. That's real. You will be able to try it later when we are breaking up. The thing is that, thing about those places, I enter a lot of cafes in Paris, PMU, points of sales, and I would like them to be jazzy, but still be able to race there, or to bet there, sorry. For this, I will need all the content, and the only way to send it is to segregate those 2 groups. The ones who want to listen, they will have comfort. The ones who don't want to listen, they will have quiet, and they might actually be more interested into getting into it instead of moving to the next cafe because it's less noisy. So that's our point. We are Odiho. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much to Odiho. And now we have our final finalist, Exalt Racing. So we'd like to welcome back to the stage
Here it is. I brought it with me, so I just wanted to show you the little device, the little tracker, less than 100 grams. Why is that? Because we found out the hard way that whatever idea you have to comply to racing regulations. And in Britain, for example, you can't put a device on a horse because handicapping is all about grams and kilos. You can't put a device on a horse that weighs more than 100 grams. So we had to go back to the drawing board and rethink our project. This is the process. This is what we went through, actually. We started a business unit in 2015 at Groupe Paris Turf. We answered the call for tender for PMU for tracking in France. And eventually we created Exalt Services. And I want to show you today the background of this innovation, you know, what we went through. And I'm going to show you some of the ideas, some of the people we met. We went all over the world to discuss this idea, because really when you're innovating innovation, you have to test your concept. You know, you can't innovate in a vacuum. It's very important to go to the people, the stakeholders of the industry, and talk to them and get to know their problems. And really, we discussed it today, you know, one of the major problems of horse racing all around the world is to attract and renew a new audience and a younger audience. So we need to think of ways, and it's not going to be one solution, but it's going to be many solutions that will allow us to attract and make racing more entertaining. This is what I was showing you before. Initially we made a prototype that was 136 grams, and we had to go back to the drawing board to make it 100 grams to comply to the regulations. This is an overview of what we went through. You know, initially we started with 3G and a 5 Hertz GPS, and then because of delays and lag times, you know, we said, well, we need 10 Hertz. We need 10 positions per second. Racing is very fast. These beauties run very quickly. And we have to, you know, improve the radio signal, because we can't rely on 3G and 4G. If there's 50,000 people or 30,000 people on the racetrack, we're all going to be competing for the 3G bandwidth. So we need our own radio signal, and this is what we actually did. And after that, you know, the weight and the augmented reality just came in naturally. If we have all this data stream, it would be great to present this information over as a layer over the real broadcast of the race to make it more exciting, more entertaining, and eventually attract a new audience. And, you know, this is what we did on the field. We went to Turkey, we went to Germany, we installed stuff in a training center in Calas in the south of France. We put our sensor on a car to test it and measure the precision, the speed. We put it on a drone. We did a lot of testing, and, you know, we put it on horses, obviously, as well. And we found out a lot of stuff, and we adjusted and fine-tuned the product over 2 years. And this is what we came up with. This is where the innovation is. We created our own RTK base to make the GPS more accurate. We created our own rover and made it very user-friendly with a screen that tells people what horse it's assigned to, because you have to think of racing logistics when you're putting a tracker on a horse. People, the staff, you know, they don't need a PhD to run the operation. They need to know which horse has which rover, and this is what we put on the screen. We did a very user-friendly back office. It's responsive, so it can run on your phone on the field, and we did the charging case. And I'm almost running out of time. I want to show you what's inside as well. Very quickly, we put, you know, an air pressure sensor as well to calculate air density eventually. We put, you know, flash memory to keep 3 days of horse racing data on the device. We put, you know, a radio module and multifunction button for the user. And here, I'll show you this video again, please. As you can see, we could put the speed in real time. We could identify the horses very well. We could put stars on the first 3, on the first 5 horses. We have the record line that's tracking, you know, so we have the record for that particular race. So thank you for your attention, and I hope you will vote for our project. Thank you.
Well, thank you once again to Francois. And so you've heard now from all 3 of our finalists, from iLive Media with iLive 360, from Odiho, and from Exalt Racing. So we would now like you to vote, please, using the forum web app. So again, if you could go on to livey.io/EPMA, and you will have 2 minutes to select your preferred winner. So please now get voting. So we have 3 awards in total. We have obviously Best Vision of Racing that you're voting on right now. We have our jury award, and then later on we also have our award for the best commercial. So, do we have our results? Do I get some thumbs up from the back of the room? Yes, we do indeed. So let's see what the result is, please. Very, very tight, as you can see. Congratulations to Exalt Racing, who win with 40.6% of the vote. But you can see it was so tight with iLive 360 on 39.1%. So very well done to all 3 of our finalists. But you can see that it was a very tight contest there between Exalt Racing and iLive. But if I could welcome Florence Gras and also Bernard Marantelli, who kindly sponsored these awards on behalf of Colossus Bets, to come and present the award, please, for the public vote to Exalt Racing. So Francois is coming back again.
With my president,
Congratulations, and if I could just ask Florence and Bernard to make the presentation. And a round of applause once again for our winner of the public vote for Best Vision of Racing, Exalt Racing. Now, if I may address the jury again, was that one your favorite? Tell us more about your own deliberations and the decisions that you came to.
It was very difficult to say. That's why I said it should have been a dédite.
Well,
and it's close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the 3 were our favorites. So it's the public that votes. So we are very happy with the winner, and I think that the 2 others, iLive and Odiho, did a great job, and I think that they also were able to win too.
And so, can we ask you the conclusion that you came to as a jury? Who wins the jury prize for the Best Vision of Racing, please?
Well, it was not one winner. In fact, the vote came up, and we fully agreed with it because it was a very close call between iLive and
Can we just see the result of the vote again, please?
Yeah. So
up on screen.
We decided to give this award, special jury award, to the 2 of them, like a shared prize, and it reflects the vote of the people here.
So exactly the same as you, the audience, decided. We actually had a dead heat from the jury between Exalt Racing and iLive 360, and actually, I believe the jury felt that the 2 were so complementary they could work together and create a great, innovative joint product. Well, congratulations to both Exalt Racing and iLive 360, who win this year's jury prize for Best Vision of Racing. And again, if I could ask Florence and Bernard to make the presentation to our joint winners, a dead heat for the Best Vision of Racing with iLive and Exalt. No, that's a different one. Just hold those. We'll take some photos. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations once again. A round of applause, please, for our winners in this year's Innovation Awards. Thank you. And one of our winners would just like to say a couple of words.
Just 1 second, because before this event this morning, we already discussed working together. And I think in the 360-degree virtual reality world, what these guys are doing and what we're doing together would be fantastic. So we hope to bring it to a racetrack near you very soon. Thank you very much.
Well, we'll certainly be watching out with keen interest, so thank you very much.
And anyone who wants to try the VR, we brought a headset at dinner, maybe not right while we're eating, but we're happy to show you what that looks like in a VR headset. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And thank you to our jury. Thank you to Guillaume. Thank you to Cricket. And also thank you to Laurent for all of their work actually deciding the award. And I'm glad that the public agreed too, that we have two outstanding winners there in iLive and Exalt. Thank you.
Can I just want to say a word. I was very impressed by all the intervention that we saw before. Whatever the jewelry was, but everybody who came here and show us what you're doing and what you want to do, it was fantastic. So thank you very much. And I hope you will help racing.
Thank you very much to all three members of our jury for their work on deciding the Best Vision of Racing award for us this evening.